But what I'm talking about is what I see in terms of construction and engineering and novelty. And there's something else. This is going to be kind of like, in my opinion, the best in show. I mean, if I had to put a blue ribbon on all of the horns and the accessories and the things that I saw at the vendor tables, if I had to put a blue ribbon on those, this would be it for a lot of reasons. So if I can have picture number 30. Picture number 30. Dietmar Duerk. Dietmar, of course, is a German maker. And you can see Marcus and his son in the background. Makes several fantastic horns. He made the Duerk D3. He made the D5, the Lewis Duerk, which I don't remember if that's the 5 or not. And now makes this triple horn that he is holding in his hand. This is the model Q11, his triple horn, and it's just this just blew me away. This absolutely blew me away in practically every respect. There was hardly a thing about it that didn't absolutely knock my socks off, and not the least of which was Dietmar's absolute enthusiasm for this horn, and the fact that he's clearly poured his heart and his soul and every bit of his craftsmanship and knowledge into this horn. This is just an amazing triple horn from a construction and design standpoint. So I urge you, if you are in the market for a triple horn, that you must get a hold of this Model Q11 and give it a try. It's got a new lead pipe in it. Dietmar says it plays really evenly, really in tune. It's an F, B flat, F alto horn, and it's. I want you to take a look before we even go to the next picture. Look at the lines of that horn. Triple horns tend to have like a lot of pipes and Rico Kuhn's triple horn, the 393X, for example, really, they're all different. They're no two triple horns. There's no standard model, it seems, but a lot of triple horns just look like a lot of pipes, and you'll see Dietmar's got the corpus opening up. In all three horns have big, long, open branches. And I don't know if that makes a difference to the sound, but the way he's got it wrapped is that the F alto horn has a continuous taper all the way through to the valve section, even through the change valve, I believe, is how I correct me if I'm wrong. But the change valve from F alto into the double horn allows tapers on both sides past the change valve. Now you'll see just under his thumb there's a tiny short crook. That is the F alto independent tuning slide. So each horn has its own independent tuning slide. They're really, you don't have a tuning stick. You have a long taper lead pipe, relative size to each side of the horn, all three sides. You have continuous tapers other than the cylindrical valve section. You have terrific lines. There are two dual change clusters, which allows him to do these continuous tapers. And of course, the 1, 2, and 3 valves are triple stacked. Just a fantastic wrap, in my opinion, and a great design in terms of making each side of the horn independent. Let's look at number 31. I know you can see it. I can't see it yet, but I want to make sure that this is the right one. I want to talk about these each at length. It is exactly what I thought. This is so clever. What are you looking at? You're looking at the lead pipe, of course, and you're looking at a coin, and you're looking at two little bits. That coin there is merely a euro 5 cent. It's just €1.05. And those two little bits are interchangeable mouthpiece tapers. They're the reverse taper in the lead pipe, which you normally put in when you're making a lead pipe. A lead pipe is tapered large to small, and then for the mouthpiece, it is reverse tapered. It's opened up to accept the taper of the mouthpiece. So it goes like this. There's a short end, and then it opens up again. So the mouthpiece taper that is normally put in mechanically with either a burnisher or a reamer or both, when I'm opening up a mouthpiece, I like to use the reamer to open up to a certain point where it's almost there, and then use a reamer, a Morse Zero reamer, to just finish it off. But a Morse Zero taper is an American shank taper, as we all know. The European shank is a wider taper. It's a wider type of mouthpiece. And the two don't match, as we all know, unless you have two different mouthpiece taper bits. And that's exactly what this is. One of those bits is the American shank, and the other bit is the European shank, and they are designed to let your mouthpiece go into the proper depth. They're designed, one of them will be for your mouthpiece if you have an American or a European shank, and they are slotted at the very end, the little slots milled in, so that they can be removed easily with a 5-cent piece and replaced. Now, of course, you're going to just put whichever one in that meets your requirements for your mouthpiece, the mouthpiece that you choose for this particular horn. But this gives Dietmar the ability to make one type of lead pipe and accept many types of mouthpieces. And it's a fantastic little innovation. I absolutely love it. And if it's worth anything, it's worth at least 5 cents. But it's worth far more than that, obviously. There's the old concept that we had of detachable lead pipes. And the Holt and Tuckwell models used to come with several lead pipes. And what most players found was that they would try each of the lead pipes, and they would pick whichever lead pipe they liked. They would put it on the horn, and they would leave it on the horn. This way, you don't need a different lead pipe for a European or an American shank. All you need is to take out that bit that it doesn't fit your mouthpiece and put in the bit that does fit your mouthpiece. The other one, put away, store away. You'll probably lose it. Who knows? Everybody loses the small bits, right? Maybe not. I would. But this is just a fantastic innovation. It's another tiny detail. And picture number 32 is one of the change valves. No, it's two of the change valves. It's a dual stacked change valve. And you're probably not seeing it if you just look at it and you don't know what to look for. But you'll see a mechanical linkage at the top. And then you'll see it go down to a stop armature. And then you'll see it go down into a valve casing. And then you'll see that valve casing go down past the ports. And then you'll see at the bottom of that valve casing, it will suddenly flare out from a single rotor size casing, flare out to a double rotor size casing. If you turn that over, you'll see there's another stop armature, there's another linkage, and those two rotors bear up back to back. They each have their own stop armatures on opposite sides, and inside they taper in and they bear up back to back. And this is a phenomenal feat of engineering. It allows Dietmar to put two change valves right where they need to be, and each with their own appropriate size, each with their own appropriate orientation, and each operated with their own portion of the dual linkage for the change valve. A phenomenal piece of engineering. And the valves are just so smooth. They operate so beautifully. And the only thing I said to Dietmar was, how the heck am I going to get that out of there when somebody brings that into me for a cleaning? And he had an answer for that. It's beautiful. There's a retaining ring on the top, or what we would actually consider the bottom, because what you're looking at with the stop armature is technically the bottom of the valve. And on the other side is the bottom of the valve, and the top is hidden. The two tops are next to each other. They bear next to each other. And getting that, how do you get that out? Well, you have to take the bits off and take the retaining ring off. Well, how do you get the rotor out? Because normally, you drive the rotor from the bottom out through the top. But you don't have that luxury. You can't drive it through the other rotor. And you can't drive the one underneath through the other rotor. And it's not going to be physically possible. So how do you get it out? And really, he has a special tool in the shop that he uses. But you don't need a special tool. All you need is to remove the hinge lever rod from the 1, 2, and 3 levers. And the threading on the nut that holds the hinge lever rod on is the exact same thread as the screw that holds the stop armature onto the long bottom spindle of those rotors. And so what you can do is remove the mechanical linkage, unscrew the stop armature screw, remove the retaining ring, take the hinge lever, screw it in, and then use a tool to tap the rotor out through the bottom using the hinge lever rod that is already on the horn. You could make a tool, but you don't need a tool. It's already on the horn, and it's a functional part of the horn. And that just blew me away, too. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this horn, the Q11, the Duerk Q11, is without a doubt, in my humble opinion, the best in show.